It's that time of year again where whiskey tubers review many Irish whiskeys. Today's is Teeling whiskey. Welcome to KIllco's Whiskey Musings. My name is Brian, and we are reviewing a wonderful Irish whiskey that I have never had before. I don't think I've ever had it before. Pretty sure I haven't had it before. The first thing I want to point out about this is I had no idea this was finished in rum casks. It says right here, it's very tiny, 6 months in rum casks. I'm going to try and do a close-up. If my camera wants to behave, we'll see if that works. Here we go. 6 months in rum casks, unchilled and filtered. This is actually from 2017, apparently. Bottled 2017, 46% alcohol. Lovely. Let's not waste any more time on this. We get to open the bottle and enjoy it. So here we go. Your favorite part and mine, struggling to open the bottle. Okay, we have one of those little tabby things that goes over the top. Very fancy. What the hell is the tab thing? Does this even have a cork in it? I have no idea. Teals make me work for it. Technically this is for wine bottles, but we'll see if this works. The record, it did not work. I don't intend to ever make these funny, but this bottle's fighting me hard. Alright, we're just ripping the whole entire top off. Here we go. Ugh. Oh, it is a cork. Good. Whew. That was a bit of a struggle. Pause for cork pop. Lovely. That song's come out of my mouth more than once when I pour whiskey. I should... Oh. Now I smell like whiskey. Cool. I first wanted to say before I got into this that this specific bottle was picked for my review on Sunday by the crowd that was on the stream on Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays and Sundays. If any of you would like to join me, please do. The color. Or the lack of color. This is probably one of the clearest whiskeys I've seen, but then again, Irish whiskeys are much like scotches, you know. There's always a color difference of being almost clear. This one, it's got that nice yellow tint to it, but as always, I keep comparing this stuff to bourbons, and compared to bourbons, this is very light, and I kind of like it. Going into this, I have a distinct feeling this will not smell like the usual Irish whiskey, just because of the rum cask, but we'll find out in a minute. Begin nosing technique. Immediate paint thinner? Something like that? I got kind of a whiff of it when I actually opened the bottle, but I thought, just my imagination. Let's see what else we get. You know what? I think, and this, could just be me. It's definitely just me. I always get this weird metallic tang out of Irish whiskey sometimes. But I also get it out of rums. That's why I don't like rums as much. Granted, I haven't had a large variety of rums, but there was always this weird metallic-y tinge that was in rum. Now, this is an Irish whiskey that was finished in rum casks, so I have a feeling that smell is kind of amplified. I have no idea, but that seems to be the prevalent smell immediately. And now he reads the bottle to see if he can figure out what that smell might be. I don't see it. This is tiny print. So I was looking at the bottle because this is not like Irish whiskeys I'm used to. This is actually really weird. It's kind of reminding me of the Tyrconnell that I've had before, where it was just unexpected, not what I expected at all with Irish whiskey. So let's keep going and see if I can pick anything out of it. It's a little much for me, to be honest. It's not a preferred smell, but I hope the taste is different. What I was checking for as well is to see if there's any malt in this, because I get a weird kind of funk off malts. And it seems like there's something going on in here, but I can't tell. I'm thinking of a penny. Again, that weird metallic tang thing. It does smell a little sweet, but not quite as usual with bourbons. This isn't a bourbon, clearly, but I get a real sweetness kick off bourbons, and with Irish, it's usually a little more like honey caramel stuff, but not with this one. This one's just got this bizarre smell up front, which I can't get past at the moment. I'm going to keep trying, so we'll see. Okay, the longer I do this, the more there's like a fruitiness or a floralness to it. I had to get past that initial burst. And again, this is a neck pour. First pour out of the bottle. part of the reason I like to go back to whiskeys is because it changes over time usually, and this one feels like it needs to develop. But we won't know until I've drank half the bottle. Poor me. There's citrus in there all of a sudden? This feels like one of those things that I can sit with for a long time. It's kind of changing the longer I do this. This happened before. I'm thinking of a pear. And again, I said it every time. I don't remember what a pear smells like or tastes like. I don't even know if I've ever eaten a pear, but that's what came to mind. So, swirly, swirly, swirl. We got to get on with this video. All right, the sweetness more prevalent. I don't get the usual buttery note. Maybe just a little. And if it might be some kind of... Here's the thing. I'm thinking of like a wildflower honey, and I can't even be certain if I've ever had that. I feel like I probably had. I used to use honey in my coffee. Weird as that may sound. It was pretty good. One thing I've been mulling over is trying to figure out if I get something very distinct from like grain alcohol. But I don't know the mash bill on this. I don't know what they did with it. But I should just get around to drinking it, because that's what whiskey's been meant for, yeah? Yeah. Since this is an Irish whiskey, I should say. Sláinte. Ooh. It's much sweeter on the taste. Wow. That's actually very friendly. Ooh, burning going down as usual. Lovely. 46%. Haha. You can't tell, but it's sticking to the glass pretty good, too. I know it's just like an alcohol thing, but I noticed it for some odd reason. I have to say my initial thoughts are sweet and simple. Not a huge amount of flavor. Not aggressive. We'll use the word smooth, because for 46%, that was extremely easy to drink. Going for sip number 2, gonna hold on the tongue, see what happens with that. Yep. Tongue tingle because of the alcohol. A little bit of spice. I thought about white chocolate for a second there. Don't know why. And a little bit of a drying feeling there at the end. Ooh. I think there was just a hint of like a fruitiness on the finish. I don't know. Maybe that's the rum cast thing. I dig it. The smell was strange at first, but the flavor itself is actually pretty easy to deal with. I like. I'm also thinking of honeysuckle. Again, I had that happen with the last review I did in Irish whiskey. Unsurprising. We are now at that point where I'll be looking up some information, link in the doobly-doo below, to find out more about this whiskey and what others have said about, flavors, tastes, etc. First, I should say that there's not a lot here. We're going to go over the community notes first, then the official overview. The official overview isn't even an overview. It's just a blurb. No tasting notes whatsoever. So I'll probably go to the webpage to find out more. First, we begin with the average price paid, and this is around $35, give or take. Community nose profile is grassy, vanilla, and apple. Grassy. Well, kind of. I mean, again, I'm still not quite sure what that weird kind of bizarre alcohol slash... I don't want to say chlorine, but it was a really weird smell at first, and I was not a fan. Community flavor profile is cinnamon, vanilla, oak, and pepper. Honestly, I don't get much of that at all. Like, cinnamon is something I find in most bourbons. Vanilla, I could see. Oak? No. Granted, again, I've been drinking so much bourbon as of late. It's a whole different thing, but my brain started to equate certain tastes with bourbon, and I probably am not picking them up, if they're even in here for me, on Irish whiskeys, because they are so easily accessible, I'd say. Drastically different stuff on the finish profile for the community notes. What we have here is spicy, vanilla, oak, pepper, and dark chocolate, when I said white chocolate, so very different there. That's okay. Must drink more before I talk about the official stuff. Alright, the official stuff I'm just taking from the webpage because the one that was on the Whizzky app was kind of blah. The whiskey challenges the convention of what Irish whiskey can be, with layers of unique flavor influenced by unconventional cask maturation techniques. Hand-selected casks of grain and malt whiskey are initially fully aged in ex-bourbon barrels, then married together in Central American rum casks for up to 12 months for unique dried fruit profile. Fruit. How nice. I want to go over the tasting notes they have first, and then there's actually a little bit more that I'll go over after this. An inviting nose where vanilla and spice dance with bright sweet notes of rum. The palate has a solid rum influence that creates a unique, smooth, sweet, and slightly woody marriage that sparkles on the tongue. Exotic fruit notes push through as well, with a sweet, spicy finish complemented by lingering, woody undertones. Now, this little blip I like. They actually have something here about the cereal, the ex-bourbon cask, and the rum cask. I'll go over each separately. Cereal. The corn grain element of the blend brings a distinct sweetness, acting as a canvas for the rich roasted caramel toffee character of the malted barley. Ex-bourbon casks. The grain and malt whiskeys are aged separately in ex-bourbon barrels and a ration of roughly 3-to-1 grain to malt. So I guess it's more grain. That doesn't surprise me for some reason. Vanilla and oak notes are imparted at this stage. The rum casks. Blending in small batches and finishing in Central American rum casks allow the grain and malt whiskeys to marry and take on a subtle dried fruit character. I'm glad they said that. I know I got a fruit note. I thought it was pear, but dried fruit sounds pretty good as well. I don't know which kind of dried fruit, but hey, that's fine. Well, there you have it, folks. Teeling Irish whiskey. I will be having three more Irish whiskeys coming out over the next few days, so look forward to that. This is pretty good, and I have a feel it'll open up over time, and I'm curious to see how it develops. It's not blowing my mind, but, it's a different kind of Irish whiskey, and I like that. Until next time, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome, and sláinte. Thank you for joining me on KIllco. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.